Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. I'm outside Stamford Bridge with Charlie. We've just lost 1-0 against Aston Villa. I had the pleasure of sitting next to you for that 101 minutes of that.
Yeah, it was depressing as fuck, mate. I don't really know what to say.
Well, let me start with this. Was it just the result that was depressing, or was it the football as well?
Everything was shit today, mate. Like, I don't know, look, you can pretty much say what's going to happen in a Chelsea match based off the first few games. We're going to create a few chances. We're not going to take them. We're going to make a mistake. We're going to concede a goal. They're going to sit deep. We're not going to be able to break a team down, and we're going to lose. Yeah. Rinse and repeat, week after week after week. You know, if we don't score the first goal, we're not winning the game. Simple as that. We have to get the first goal to have any chance of getting anything, and we're not doing it. We are not doing it now. I got sympathy with the manager in terms of he can't make us score the chances, but I've also got to say that there's a few things that you've got a question right now. Why are we continuing? We've got 3 fucking left-backs on the bench. Every single week, Levi Colwill started at left-back and he's a centre-back. You're limiting his game so much by playing him out there. Yes, he's not done badly there, but you're limiting his game. So why are we doing that? Why, when Murdryk in the last 2 games has looked like our most dangerous player, why is he the first player subbed off every single time? Why? When you're sitting down against 10 men, right, you're going to need an outball, you're going to need some pace, you're going to need an outlet to hit. Take off your quickest player, and we're knocking it long, maybe into channels, get someone to run after it. We take your fastest player off and a player that was looking like he was going to fucking do something.
I wouldn't say that was a tactical substitution per se. Obviously it was a tactical, but it was more because of the red card, I think, rather than...
No, but he could have taken off Sterling. Sterling was dog shit today. He was awful today. He started the season well, but he's reverted back to type. Shit. Absolutely criminal. That 2-on-1 today where he's through on goal and it was shit, mate. You've got literally keeper. He's got Jackson to his right. All he's got to do is square it for a tap-in. Puts it straight at the goalkeeper. And don't give me this, oh, it would have been given as offside. I don't care. The intent was there and we fucking missed it again. So this is my point. Why is it that Murdryk's always taken off first when he's the only one that looks like actually doing anything? You know, a couple of great balls across the box, a great reverse pass in the first half that Jackson couldn't quite finish. Like, he's looking like making something happen. Yes, he's rough around the edges, but he's direct. His first thought is to always go forward. And we could have done with him as an outball. And it's great that he started again, but why is he the first one coming off? I'm not saying we would have won, but at least we've given ourselves an outball for when we're up against it. So I didn't understand that decision. I don't understand what Cole Palmer's got to do to start in this team. Look, Gallagher is obviously likes him, he's playing him, he's captain at the moment. But come on, you can't tell me that Conor Gallagher's better than Cole Palmer in the number 10. What are we doing? He's not.
Well, we were talking about Enzo in a number 10.
Well, even Enzo in a 10 as well. He's not a number 10. I don't want to see it. I've seen it against Bournemouth, it was shit. I saw it against Forest, it was shit. Enzo Fernandez is not a number 10. Why are we incapable of playing Ben Chilwell at left back, Levi Colwill at centre back, a pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, and then why can we not play Cole Palmer as a fucking number 10? Why can we just not see that? I'm not saying like we're going to suddenly start winning games. Why can we just not see it? Like, we have this conversation all the time, playing players in their proper positions, and we continue to not do it. I just don't understand, and that the manager has to take responsibility for that. And the questions need to be asked from the media, whoever. Why are you persisting with Levi Colwill at left back? Why can't Cole Palmer get in the team when when in the 3 games that he's come on, he's looked like one of the brightest players on the pitch? So these have got to be answered. And why are we always why are we not playing to win? We're 1-0 right. We're 1-0 down, right? With 10 men at home. We're not going to win the game. Let's go for it and let's try and get an equaliser. Why are we sitting tight trying to lose 1-0? I'd rather us go for it and lose 2. Do you know what I mean? Because we're losing anyway. So why is there not a bit more urgency to go for it?
So you feel like the team held back?
We're playing with a handbrake on. We are playing with a handbrake on. Look, I understand that like you could get embarrassing if you go for it with 10 men at 1 down. You got a susceptible to being picked off and it could become 2 or 3-0. Yeah. But if you're going to lose anyway, then I'd rather lose going for it than lose and us just sitting tight.
I mean, to be fair, we did concede the goal while we were going for it.
But the goal was a catalogue of mistakes. Thiago Silva makes a mistake in the build-up. Yeah. And in fairness, Levi Colwill does well for the block, but it comes straight back to Watkins. How on earth he gets it in from that angle? Sanchez is a little bit at fault for that goal as well. But I don't want to dig Sanchez out because he was one of the only positives today. His 2 saves, a fantastic save from Dina's volley and from Zaniolo as well. And he pretty much kept us in the game. Like last week, if it wasn't for him, we could have lost by a lot more. So he was a positive. And whilst I'm on positives, I thought Uga Chukwu was good when he came on as well. And I've already mentioned Cole Palmer. Other than that, it was dreadful, mate. It was dreadful. I'm more positive than most, as you know, but it's quite hard to sort of keep picking positives up week after week when we're losing. It's 3 games in a row now we've not managed to score a goal. Yeah. And with the greatest respect, this is not against good opposition. Nottingham Forest, a Bournemouth team that hadn't fucking won a game this season, and they lost again today, and a Aston Villa side who admittedly are good, and they're going to do bits this season, but they had a game on Thursday night in Poland. They lost 3-2. They've had, what, 2 or 3 days to prepare for this game? We've had a whole week to prepare for this match, and we produced that today. Please tell me how that's acceptable.
Yeah, no, it's not good enough, mate. I mean... But this is the thing when we talk about a process, and this is where I will defend what we're doing. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but you've got to have 2 sides to every story.
Yeah.
It's never all going to be plain sailing, and people just thought we were going to cruise through the season. I mean, I was one of them. I thought we'd be right up there, but I guess we just have to adapt our expectations.
Well, I've got 2 things on that, right? One, it really pisses me off when people just blame this on the owners. It's such a lazy argument because we were on a downward under Roman. Years of neglect and shit recruitment has led us to the situation where we've had to buy a load of new players. I won't go into that, it's all boring. But when you make a plan, that like we've done, that you're going to sign young players and you're going to sign potential, then you have to accept that that's not going to click straight away, and you might have you might have a whole season where we're not very good. And that's the trade-off That's the trade-off you have to accept if you've gone down this long-term project. This is a project that might be good for 2 or 3 years' time. That's the route we've gone down. So I'm not saying we have to accept losing every week and being this shit, but we have to accept that it's not going to be that good for the time being. And do you know what? Maybe there's also a realisation, mate, that these players right now, as good as some of them are and exciting as some of them are, and the potential that they've got, maybe right now some of these guys aren't quite good enough at this point in time. I'm not saying they won't be good enough, but maybe they're not good enough right now. And that's something maybe we have to accept, that some of these guys might not be good enough right now, but in a few years' time they will be good enough.
When you say good enough as well, are we talking about their quality, Oh, we've got a bully. Go on, pick up the camera, pick it up. What did you think of the result today? Well, I didn't ask him to like and subscribe to the channel, so that's something. But yeah, he doesn't want to take pictures with the fans. Doesn't want to talk to the fans. No, it was him. It was him. And actually, let's just touch on that. He also went in the dressing room, mate.
I don't have a problem with that. That doesn't bother me really, because
why?
Well, because they own it. Like, so
in what way does that help? Because we
don't know what he's saying though. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we don't know if he's going in and like laying into them. He's going in to offer a bit of encouragement, a bit of support. Like, it's maybe not. It's different in American sports. That's like quite a normal thing to go in the dressing room after games in American sports.
This isn't American,
no,
though.
It's not. What I'm saying is, like, Roman used to go in the dressing room loads, right, after games, or when obviously not recently because he wasn't allowed in the fucking country, but generally during his reign, he would go in the game. I really don't think it's a massive deal. Do you know why people are making it a massive deal? Because we're a shit form. If we're winning, no one gives a fuck he's going in the dressing room. That's why people are making an issue out of it.
I don't think it's a problem if people are going inside the dressing room. It's from what we heard last season, they were speaking to the players. As far as I'm concerned, Pochettino's the only one who needs to do that. And if you are going to speak to the players, why are you doing it now? Why?
I don't know, mate. But like, I think that's the least of our problems, mate.
Sorry to interrupt you, mate. It really pisses me off when I saw him there. Not just because of the result, but the fact that he refuses to acknowledge the fans. He doesn't want to speak to us. I understand it, but oh, mate, I actually feel a little bit emotional about it. It's like.
I'm not that bothered. I'm not really that arsed about that, but I'm just more bothered about us trying to get back to getting decent results on the football pitch. And right now, mate, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it comes from. I don't even know where a goal comes from, mate. I don't know where it got. That's 3 games now we haven't scored a goal in, and we've created more than enough chances. And look, you can sit here and say, oh, there were some positives. Cole Palmer was good when he came on. Murdryk was decent, but at the end of the day, mate, it's just the same old week after week after week. And look, the manager's got to take some blame, and the players have got to take some blame as well. Like, it's no coincidence to me that players that have left Chelsea, aren't getting injured anymore, they were always fucking injured here, and are suddenly scoring goals. whatever it is, any goal scoring ability seems to leave. As soon as you put that blue shirt on, your goal scoring ability seems to just leave your body as a footballer. Because right now, this is 6 years pretty much where we struggled to score goals on a consistent basis. We haven't replaced Diego Costa, and now we've got Nicholas Jackson banned for the next game because he picked up his 5th booking of the season. He's probably thought, I've had enough of this. I had a game off. Like, I don't know where we go from here, mate. Other than just having to stick with it and hope things will get better. Because right now, we're barely doing the basics right. We're barely doing the basics right. And that's before we even get to the refereeing today as well. Fucking joke today, the referee.
Shocking,
It was absolutely shocking. I'm not saying it's the reason we lost, but, you know, I don't want to have a fucking phone call from Howard Webb Monday morning. Oh, we're sorry about that. We got it wrong. I don't want to hear that. That's useless. It's done now. It's finished. Was it a red card? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But the point is, the referee was fucking awful today. Martinez, how did it take him 93 minutes to get booked? Guy was time wasting from the first fucking goal kick of the game. Time wasting, taking about 30 odd seconds every fucking goal kick. Like, referee blows the whistle 65 seconds before it should have been blown for the first half. Like, the standard of officiating is an absolute disgrace in this country, and it seems to be different rules when it comes to Chelsea. Like, we're being stopped from taking quick free kicks. You know, we're not getting fouls in our favour. We're not getting anything, and the standard of officiating is an absolute fucking disgrace. But it's probably on a par with our finishing right now. The standard of officiating, and I don't know where we go from here, mate. I really don't, because now we've got no Reece James still. We've got Malagusto banned for 3 games. But we're going to have to play Axel Disasi at right back, which is not going to be a complete disaster, but it's not ideal. And we're still a massive, massive mess. And I know it's going to take time, mate. We know it's going to take time. But at the same time, we need some results, and we need them fast. And my biggest concern is, where are those results coming from? Because they don't look like coming from anywhere. You know, how does Gallagher get 90 minutes today? I'm not picking on him per se, but how did he play 90 minutes today? Didn't have a good game really today, but how's he getting 90? What does Cole Palmer have to do to start? Enzo's looking out of sorts. Stop playing him as a number 10. He's not a number 10. Just play him in a fucking pivot alongside Caicedo. Yeah. Caicedo still looks like he's struggling a little bit. The problem is, other than defensively, and I know Thiago Silva made a mistake in the build-up for the goal, but it's still a long way for it to go, but he did make a mistake. Other than the few players defensively, no one's playing well right now. Yeah. And that's got to be a huge, huge concern, that collectively as a team, yes, it's a bit better than last season, but we look a fucking million miles off it, mate. A million miles off it.
See, I wouldn't say we look a million miles off it in terms of the majority. It's just finishing our chances.
Yeah,
and
but
then
that's the most important thing in football, though. That's the hardest thing. That's the most important thing.
I completely agree with you, John.
That's why we're not winning any matches, mate, because we can't put the ball in there. It's all very well being solid at the back, nice bit of play in midfield. The best we're going to do is draw games 0-0 or lose by the odd goal because we can't score. And that's exactly what's happening.